Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. You can hear me now, right?
Yes. Oh, sure. it just went off. Like, no. I've told the other gentleman like 10 minutes ago or something. Okay, so no idea. I don't know. I think it's from that side.
Home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
I'm not sure. When you say wait. You say where is send me the money? Now you come here, say I'm from Colombia. You don't see. give you cash. I be Akweru, I get cash.
Give me first. May give me first.
Nobody give me what you get. The transfer when they want to send to friend that is account. I'll go ask for you cash. Oh, you go.
Say get cash.
Cash, say.
Where did they use you?
See, I get cash. This one I'm bad. I owe like 40,000. I'm here the control the transfer. You don't need our money. Why you not go to the shop?
Sonny. Sonny.
I go score. Why you want to cry? They go and see what it's up. No good. No good. No good. What's it happen? away coach here. I know they see you. Bruce. La so abi, okay.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Can you hear me?
That's the money coach.
All right, great.
Are you ready?
Can you hear me? You're good? Can you hear me? Nice. Do we have any troubles? Hope the waters are calm. Now, but just throw me like I know we just know because they talk big. Okay, man. Is it loud enough like this? All right, great. Good. That's great. That's it. All right. Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Check 1, 2. Alright, Coach, when the big is here. No, he's here now. Hi, Coach. Nice to meet you. I don't know if you remember, we spoke at match day 1 back in Rio. Nice to meet you. Very well done, your team. Yeah. Let me know when you're ready. Just give it a bit more time. We'll almost be there. You good? Hello, Coach. Good to talk to you once more. I don't know if you remember, but we spoke on match day one, and it was a tense, opening start to the season where you actually won a 2-0 at Aqua United. Since then, you've actually gone unbeaten so far this season. You haven't lost any game, and of course, you've managed to pick up 20 points from a possible 24. So, what has that been down to? Because when I spoke to you on match day one, you look very calm and very composed. That's the way your team play.
Well, like I said, it's a league. Until the end, you cannot really assess or judge your team. We just try to take one game after the other. Like you say, the team just came into the Premiership, so there is a lot for the team to do to remain. If we are not strong in the head and discipline and fight, it might be difficult for us. So let's say that's what we are trying to do, and we hope we keep doing it better than we are doing, so we can keep being somewhere where it's good enough for us.
I mean, I would love to ask you a question and say, where do you prefer playing? Because it's obviously the home ground is always the best place to play. But, I mean, home or away, you're good. You're strong regardless. And that's something we don't see too many times. Is that down to, just playing every game as it comes, not bothering where it is, home or away?
Yeah, like I said, football is a game of 90 minutes. Every game you play, you need to go back and try to correct the mistakes from the first one. And it's just the reality, whether you play home or you play away. If you don't play well in your home, you don't stand a chance. So we just have to have a positive mentality. We believe in our ability, and we'll keep trying to do our best and hope that result comes our way.
Well, of course, it would be impossible to speak to you without mentioning Imade, who's been in incredible form so far this season. 5 goals in the league this year. And, I mean, what's that down to? Because he is a player we kept an eye on from match day one. And the way your team start out in games, very fast, very early, you get goals early too.
Well, like I said, he's a player who is playing the Premiership for the first time. I get every player has an ambition. He has an opportunity now, so I think he's just trying to be the best he can. I hope he keeps his head, and I hope he keeps working hard enough and keeps trying to convert the chances that come his way.
Coach, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. All the best for today and, of course, rest of the season. Cheers. Hi, legend. Good to see you. Welcome to Benin. Hi, Coach. Good to talk to you. Finish George here, one of course the bigger names in Nigerian football. Coach, your team has recently started getting to grips with what you've been telling them. You mentioned in the last press conference after the 3SC game that finally your team are beginning to understand what you demand from them.
Yeah. I think we've been working so hard, and I think, it's paying off now. The team is doing well, so we just hope to keep this run going.
You must have noticed I just spoke to Coach Monday Odigi, who is the coach of Bendel Insurance. But, despite the immaculate form, they've got 20 points. You've got 16. And, that makes your form not look good. But you're actually doing really well in the league this season.
Yeah, we've really picked up. But I think they've done so well. Winning their games, playing good football, a lot of high pressing. So I think we must commend them, so far so good, and they've done well, but I think we are pushing, we are coming from behind.
I asked Coach Monday the same question, where do you prefer to play? Because you went to Gombe and had a nice victory there, so very tough team away from home as well. So what is that down to, that mentality where we're seeing more away wins and of course teams playing very great football?
It boils down to officiating. I think the officiating has been okay, so we cannot complain. So I think if you play well away from home, I think you'll be able to pick a point or even win the game. So I think we must commend the referees as well, in as much as we all want to win. It's a good thing that you can go away from home and get some points. That's a good thing for the league.
Well, of course, Coach Afidi George, good to talk to you and all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
All good, all good.
I'm counting him down.
Hello and welcome along to Matchday Live coverage of the Nigerian Premier Football League Matchday 9. And of course, we are at the halfway point of the season. Talk about saving the best for the last. And of course, in the game contested between Bendel Insurance of Benin and the big elephant in town, Enyimba International of Aba. Just walking into the grounds today, you could feel the anticipation for this game and what it means to both of the teams, Bendel Insurance and Enyimba. And of course, just speaking to some fans in the background, you can see just how much anticipation is in the air for this particular game. Speaking about Bendel Insurance, I've just spoke to the coach, Monday Odigi. Imperial form his team have been in so far this season. 20 points from a possible 24 tells you all you need to know about the kind of form they've been in. They're actually unbeaten so far. Let's just get that out there for Bendel Insurance supporters. But of course, he did mention that one of the way his teams do play is to be calm and composed, very disciplined. I spoke to him on match day 1 back at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium, and he did caught a very calm figure. That's the way his teams go about their business, very calm and composed. So credit to him for that. And of course, you've got to say that one of the players who has done great stuff for Bendel Insurance this season has been Imade, who has got 5 goals so far this season. What about Enyimba International, who have got 16 points from a possible 24, 4 points off Bendel Insurance in the Group A of the NPFL this season, and they've been in good form themselves, just not better than all Bendel Insurance have done so far this season. They went to tough grounds like Gombe and picked up all 3 points. So great officiating is something that the coach Fididi George did mention to me for being one of the reasons why his teams have gone out there and done pretty well. So great stuff for them. Of course, Emeka Obioma, one of the players that his teams have been banking on for the goals. He's scored 7 goals so far this season. So that's an incredible record to have at this point in time. I did see somewhere that this game is tagged the Battle of the Elders. And of course, that goes back to Bendel Insurance's fine form back in the 70s. Of course, those 2 league titles back in the mid-70s and those 3 FA Cup titles for Nigeria. And of course, we'll forget that Continental Trophy as well. So great stuff for them there. And of course, let's head on to Emmanuel.
There is this contest. One team defines the history of the Nigeria Premier Football League. The other amplifies the dream of many. Wherever you are across the world, we bid you a fine welcome to the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. Benin of the Vikings, Bendel Insurance, who welcome the mighty Enyimba, the People's Elephant, 4 top of the encounter. With every player in the matchday squad, the headliner, certainly no other tie in this round weighs the same. This is a fixture that over the years tends to favor the home side, but the most recent engagement during the 18-19 season ended barren in both legs. Surely not an outcome. The few fans present in this stadium and all tuned into the broadcast would be anticipating, as often as they say, the beauty of any football game is tied and defined by goals, and goals aplenty. We've seen these 2 sides produce this campaign. Some of the finest poachers in the present campaign are domiciled in the green and yellow part of Insurance and the predominant blue of Enyimba International Football Club, a team who've secured the title not once, not twice, but on 8 occasions. Unrivaled in that statistics, but in terms of pedigree, not many teams can compare to the host for today's encounter, Bendel Insurance. And it's an arena that sits 12,000 fans. It's pretty hazy in terms of the weather conditions. It says the temperature is at 37 degrees and we're traveling about 7 kilometers per hour. It's a bit humid also, 26%. I would pretty much just sum it up and say that the weather has aligned perfectly for today's encounter, knowing the significance of this contest. It's the pitch perfect weather. It's befitting for football with this level of quality. One, certainly we are looking forward to the league format. Has got the representatives of the 20 competing teams joined by the LMC Grain, but that's just pretty much the form guide. The last head-to-head, as mentioned earlier, they are teams with immense pedigree, but the last campaign Not a single goal was scored in this stadium. Not a single goal at the Elephants Park in Aba, an arena where teams visit and most of them live with their tails just beneath. Hey, Football Federation, the IMC, all sat in that round table prior to the start of the new campaign just to legitimize the layout for the season. One which seems pretty uncommon, but it's not a first. I always like to mention that we've seen in a bridge season in the Premier Football League in days past, but this time around it's pretty unique. 10 teams in Group A and Group B respectively. The top 3 teams from both groups will assemble for a Super 6 playoffs, which not only would produce the eventual champions, but also 2 other teams who would represent Nigeria on the continent. That's the current standing of this group that will produce today's competitors. Insurance, after 8 games, happy points they've amassed. They've won 6 games. 3 of those matches were picked up away from home. Those maximum points. Surprising to see them drop a point at home. And you've got the second group. It's very dicey because no one is certain who will advance. Lobby Stars currently lead the pack as Abia Warriors also, who are a surprise second. The champions Rivers United have played 2 games less. It's understandable. They've got that engagement on the continent. The CAF Confederation Cup, so they are piling up the outstanding matches, which you never know. A bet in hand often isn't what maximum pointers they say. The Kada, a team from Akwa Ibom State, not in a happy place. They could be sent to the Nigerian National League. And I've got Bendel In'l of Aba, who has made his way from a pitch side to the commentary booth. They don't come any bigger than this.
Great to have myself here, Emmanuel. Of course, great to work with you once more. It doesn't come bigger than this, and of course, it's only fitting that after match day 1, myself and you were covering the Bendel Insurance game back at the Gospel Akwa Ibom Stadium. We're back here for the midway point of the season, so there's lots to look forward to. They've come a long way since that time. 20 points from a possible 24. You've mentioned all of that, and it's incredible. I spoke to him at pitch side, and he always is a calm figure, always goes about his business with minimal force. So great stuff to see his team play the way he plays, and it's good because Enyimba themselves are no slouches. They come into this game with really good form themselves, so there are lots to look forward to in this game, Manuel.
Quite a lot to look forward to. These players, as they walk out of the dugout, they know until the final whistle, and nothing is guaranteed every second on the pitch. Well, it's far beyond the names on the back. The names commentators love to describe attached with goals. It's more of the crest for the Elephants and also for Bendel Insurance Football Club. And you can also add the fans who continually chant support with their every kick of the football. Match officials are spread across the country. Salisu Bashir from Kano as the referee for this game. He would be assisted by Ber Simon from Benin. There will be collectors from Lagos and Shola Konji, who would be the 4th official. It's good to see John Noble. That's the confirmation. The identity of the match official again. A game like this, you know, the camera lens will be beamed heavily on him as much as the potential goal scorers and players who could decide to throw a bit of theatrics. Well, the picture wouldn't hurt. Concentration on the face of the captain of Bendel Insurance. Quite an exciting lineup, you've got to mention. Happy Times just might be returning to the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium here in Benin City. The Enyimba side will have 2 changes from the team that defeated Shooting Stars the last time out. So Maria Lalibo and Elijah Akani coming to replace the draw of Ogbemudia Otika and Ademola Adebambo. For Insurance, there you go. There's the performance propeller for Coach Monday Odige. Has been retaining a large chunk every match day. 8 players continue in that fold. Goalkeeper Obasaje, Benjamin Taminu, Sunday Anyao, Ebuka, Soje Divine, Imade, and Ismail Sarki. That's the Enyimba setup has touched on. Just 2 changes from that side that pitch Shooting Stars. They are Ben Otika and Ademola Adebambo taking off for Sumari Alalibo and Elijah Akani. Elijah, by the way, UB got a debut goal for Enyimba, but we'll love to see you play for those who followed MFM Football Club. And it's good to see him start this fixture against.
Yeah, it's good to see his progress since days of MFM, and of course he is now in the big fish, if you like, because Enyimba are of course the biggest club in the land, and it takes a couple of levels to get into that kind of performance. And I think he's one of the players that has become a mainstay in the team now. So great to see him play. Of course, alongside Semeka Yoma, who's a striker in great form at the moment, 7 goals so far this season. And Finidi the judge did mention that the team are finally beginning to get to grips with what he's been saying and the coaching staff. So hopefully that continues today. But Enyimba haven't done bad at all. The only reason they are not up on the table is because of Bendel Insurance's incredible form. So there's clearly a lot to look forward to in this game.
Yeah, while you were brilliantly analysing the cameras, pan on the fans of Enyimba International who journeyed all the way from Aba down to Benin. They believe in something higher, so they will somehow just get themselves ready. Concentration also on the face of Salisu Bashir. He knows this is the biggest of all the contests for this match day.
That's for sure. I mean, when this match, when the fixtures were made, this is the one you hope that come match day 9 it will be in prime position for the two teams. I kind of feel like Enyimba have, benefited from just, focusing on the league this season. Of course, they always want to be in the big fish, in the big tournaments, on the continents, but they're clearly reaping the rewards of being tunnel vision this year and focusing on this. I've got to say that Bendel Insurance will not have it easy today. The officiating is better in the APFL these days, and if you play well enough, most likely you get a victory.
Yeah, I mean, it reflects on the statistics. 6 wins this season, 3 of those have come away. One you're familiar with in Akwa Ibom State.
Yeah, very much so.
A technical department of Bendel Insurance led by Coach Bonde Odige. Lots of expectations surrounding this side. If Enyimba get a win, they close the gap. If Insurance, for most people, as expected, should win, it's just consolidation.
Yeah. Enyimba can close the gap to 1 point today with a win. Insurance can open that points gap to 7 by the end of the match day. So there's a loss at stake for both teams. I think Insurance would love the cushion. They would like that very much, but they also realize that they don't have much to prove on match day 9. I'm not going to say it out loud, but I'm sure if you handed both teams a draw, they'll take it and end the game now.
I think they will. Just compose Finidi George, legend when it comes to Nigerian football. But Insurance fans wouldn't care about his records.
Not at all.
They needed me to catch my breath, UB.
Yeah. Commentator's privilege.
Amsa Kimbo, John Noble's got the opportunity of playing for the Nigerian national team.
He's in a great class of local league players who are able to don the Super Eagles jersey.
So officially kicked off, first against second in Group A. The unbeaten against the establishment. This is what we all have waited for. And here now, so just oblige you to watch and drink as much as you can in. As often pronounced, there's no room for complacency this season. Every point is attached with relegation and a potential top 6. In less than 60 seconds at the corner to Bendel Insurance.
I spoke to the coach and I did say his teams do fly out of the blocks. They try to go press very early on, try to get that early goal and settle into the game. That's just another sign that, that's their mantra. That's how they predicate their game upon. And Deputy, of course, couldn't quite get the opening goal there, but sign of things to come today.
Deputy Echeta, one of the acquisitions, and he's somehow just bedded into the system quite easily. A sign from Giants Brillis Football Club. Here's the big man, Winwu. Got a goal in that game in Jos against Plateau United, one of the more forgettable fixtures for Enyimba. It's a heavy charge. That's hoping to get the ball below Yakubu. Oh, that's an exciting pace from Imadeo Sarenko. He's having an exciting season for Insurance this campaign.
Oh yeah, he is. Two of the best strikers in the league on this pitch today, Michael Bioma, Imadeo Sarenko, and that pace there is something you shouldn't take for granted. He's just maybe sprinted 15 yards to get past the Enyimba players, and you can see the home fans. You might not hear them, but just behind us here or beside us know what he's all about. They've seen him a couple of times. He's just a real good young player coming up.
Noble for Enyimba, a goalkeeper who started his career just before moving to AS Kara of Togo, and also had to play for Cameroonian side Pantel Sportive. That's where the Enyimba scouts pretty much discovered him during the 2018-19 CAF Confederation Cup and said, well, your talent is good enough for Enyimba International. He eventually joined the team sometime in August 2020. Telling pass from Ini Adam, captained by Sadiq. Just the rare presence of Enyimba in the final third. And a corner kick for the People's Elephants.
Yeah, rightly so, corner kick. Try to, jolt the referee into giving him a goal kick, but it was clear to see. Good pressure from Enyimba in the last 2 minutes thereabout. They've also made their way up the pitch, 5-10 yards. Got a corner for themselves, and one corner apiece now is Mano.
Well, the first look pretty threatening from Insurance. Can they return the favour, Enyimba? Well, it's dealt with comfortably by Tanimu Benjamin. Here's Ini Adam. Just taking that opener in the penalty box. No pressure for goalkeeper Amas Obasoje. He's played every minute this campaign for Bendel Insurance, the goalkeeper.
You need a solid backline. You need some reliable players. You need an injury-free team to be on the kind of run they've been on. 20 points from a possible 24 is remarkable. They haven't lost any game, and they're very hard to beat. Got to say, set pieces, they're hard to. We've got a very tall team. It has to be mentioned as well. I remember the first game at the Gospel Aquabio Stadium, and Kwa United had lost throughout them, but they were very resolute in that game, and they're very physical as well. You can just see in the tackle there. But Enyimba are no slouches themselves. When you look at the Enyimba's team, some big boys there too. Calm, composed. Bit of an early treatment here.
Yeah, bit of concern for the fullback, it seems. Julius Emiloju for Bendel Insurance Football Club. Looks like he's appealing to the assistant referee, but Tanaim Batro is going to be fine, so he'll be patched up. That's more for Deputy Echeta.
You can understand why he's a bit, asking questions about the referee, because the weather, I've got to say, is harsh out here. The Matan is something we all know in Nigeria. You don't want to get an injury in this period because he'll stay for a long time, but yeah, perks of the job, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Philip Ozer trying his luck from such a position. And just for sake of identification, it's a natural surface, Yubi.
Yeah, very good. We got the chance to walk early on the pitch and take a look around the place. It's really even surface, and especially if you're familiar with the Nigerian weather, it's not easy to have a really lush pitch here. So credit to the management, Bendel Insurance, and of course everyone who's involved for making such a nice, beautiful surface for the players.
Yeah, it had to be reworked in 2018 by the current administration of Governor Godwin Obaseki. Not just the playing surface, but the entire arena.
Stadium is in really good shape as well, Emmanuel.
Certainly not that attempt. Chukwemeka Obioma. Sick of the presence of teammates just on the far right hand side, but well defended, and that's something Insurance have done brilliantly all season.
Yes. You don't let crosses in. It's one of the hallmarks of defending nowadays. You don't let people cross the ball into the box. No matter how good your centre-backs are, they'd rather not deal with crosses every now and then. So it's something they're very comfortable with, and I've got to say that, you know, everything Enyimba have thrown at them, they've been able to cope with that so far. And you can see people holding their positions, just knowing where to be and trusting their players. Imade, of course, they're on the ball.
Philip Ozor just giving away possession for Enyimba. And that cross into the deep for the goalkeeper, unconvincing, but he keeps it out momentarily. And the man who's played every single game, starting off, Chibuke Winwo, just intentionally put himself in harm's way. It's a free kick to Enyimba.
Yes, Enyimba. Of course, it's one of those free kicks you get to buy yourself and your team some time. It was a dangerous attempt. They're just watching it back now. I mean, this is what, a cross or a shot, but I think he'll say it's a cross or a shot if he went in. But yes, first real attempt at goal, and I think you know, Noble was rattled there for a second. Not quite sure he judged the flight of the ball quite well, but early signs of what Bendel Insurance are all about. They'll get the ball in quickly. They'll try to put the pressure on you, and they've got the height to actually cause some real trouble.
Ozor.
It's a bit of a reckless pass there. I mean, all he needs to do is just put the ball down and make a nice vertical pass. Tries to go for the outside foot, couldn't quite get the player he intended for.
Yeah, it's not been his start, Philip Ozor, but he's quite the player. Exciting to watch when he's performing. Joined Enyimba in July 2019 from Delta Force. Had to spend that season on loan at Kwara United, where he did perform. Eye-catching performances dished out. One of those acknowledged box-to-box midfielders.
Yeah, you can see his all action, tall, physical, imposing. It'll be a real midfield battle there today.
Ebuka Akabundu is one of those who've shone quite brightly this season for Insurance. Oh, it's a challenge there. Somaria Lalibo. Left inside in the Adam for Enyimba. We've got to calm things a bit, trying to play the pace of Insurance, making them lose their identity.
Yes, Insurance will love that kind of game all day long. They'll take you at a physical challenge. But it's about who gets the hold of the game, I imagine. String a few passes together. It's been bubbling away in the last 10 minutes thereabout, but yeah, tackles flying. That's another one.
That's Julius Similoju going hard on Sadiq. Abubakar.
Must be a painful one to take one like that. I think that was the ankle. It's not nice for Sadiq there. Yeah, it's acknowledgement of what went down.
Similoju. Cut out by Winwo. Any Adam. Kept in play by Deputy Echeta. Intercepted by Winwo. Quite exciting to call his name.
Yeah.
But if you're not comfortable with the pronunciation, you can call him Winwo if you're trying to spell alphabetically. But, well, excellent and composed play. Well, Somaria Lalibo just almost enveloping Imadil Sarenko. Is that a fair free kick to Insurance?
Oh, I think it's a fair free kick. I think it's a bit exuberance from Somari. I think he's got to, take it down a notch or two. He's been all over.
Well, Pascalese actually in that instance, Yubi. He's got the complexion and composition of Somari. Just quite physical players.
Yeah. I think keep an eye on those two, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They've been all over each other.
He looks quite miffed with the decision of the referee.
Yeah. I think when he watches it back, he'll say a bit overzealous there. But yeah, you want to be physically dominating and imposing in the game. You want to make sure that the strikers know that you're not going to give anything away early in the game.
Well, just on the blind side. And he's missed the chance to make it count. Oh, Nobu didn't see that coming.
No, it didn't see it coming. I think it's a really good free kick. Didn't look like he struck the ball well, but he went for the precision rather than the power, and I think he kind of caught Noble off guard. I think Noble was expecting something high and hard, but it was more of a placement shot, and the follow-up shot not quite having the accuracy to put it behind the Super Eagles International, but really good strike there. That's the third time Insurance have come close to opening the score here at the Ogbemudia Stadium. Not quite sure. I mean, just look at the flight of the ball there. If the camera just... It takes the bounce just in front of the goalkeeper. I think that's what sort of confuses the goalkeeper. It almost felt like his wall wasn't quite in place. So, a bit of an advantage there for Insurance. But it's stuff like that we've become so accustomed to seeing with Insurance. They're dangerous from all facets of their game. Set pieces, aerial duels. They win many aerial duels. They cross the ball well, and they got a very potent striker. So, yes. No surprise they've got the better chances so far.
Win-win. This could be that rare chance. And in fairness, the passing for Enyimba hasn't been great.
Yeah.
Ebukako Bundu. The intention was good, but just the cut out defensive play from Enyimba at that instance. Wasn't the first choice this season, John Noble, for Enyimba, until that sending off in Jos to Olorunle Ojo, and afterwards it's been first choice. Rare sight.
Couldn't quite get the ball under control, couldn't quite make the right contact with the ball. But it's been end-to-end all game. I mean, pretty much in the opening 15 minutes, we've literally gone from one end of the post to the other. I don't think any team is interested in putting 10, 15 passes together. They just want to go end to end. I think they realized that the first goal in this game will be very important for both teams. Of course, Insurance have come closest. You would expect that with the familiarity with the home surface. Oh boy.
Didn't look too happy with that challenge. Sadki Ismail, also one of the top performers this season.
Yes. I mean, it's sort of like a miracle that the referee hasn't put out the yellow card or something since the start of the game, because the players are in many ways taking the liberty here, but the referee's just trying to make sure that this goes on as smoothly for as long as possible before any potential bookings.
So too heavy a pass to find the right back, Bilal.
Emmanuel, you can just see it's just the right side for Enyimba. That's where the attacks are being built up. It's pretty much where all the attacks have come to. I think the left area is where, of course, you've got Emeka Obioma there, who is going to peel off the far post to try and, you know, run off a defender and head a ball, something like that. But you've got to get the crosses in, and that's where Insurance have been very strong. Ismail, very good in this area, not allowing crosses to come in.
You've got police football now.
Yeah, it's ping pong stuff at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's safer to say that. No one wants to be questioned for such description. Finds Pascalese. This time to the man much talked about, Philip. Quite composed, the goalkeeper, John Noble. There's Wingwu for Enyimba. I had to see him get across to the ball there, the top scorer, Chukwuemeka Obioma. Doesn't look quite pleased, UB, with that.
I mean, I won't be pleased as well. It's hard for a striker to continuously keep chasing balls down, and they're pretty much passing into space, and Not quite sure he's going to enjoy doing that for the rest of the evening, but sort of seems like it's a deliberate game plan from the coach Finidi George to play into space and try to catch them. The high line, Bendel Insurance are trying to play, but I mean, I wouldn't want to be out there on the pitch. Surface is really dry. Players not taking invitations to hack you down to the ground, but I think that in the end, Enyimba have come here to make it very difficult for Insurance. Insurance have tried to be a bit more purposeful with their game, and every time they work it out wide, you can see they're trying to be a bit more deliberate, getting to better positions across the ball.
It's pretty central. Doesn't look quite convincing. The punch from Noble. Emiluju's cross. Intercepted by Sadiq Abubakar.
Yeah, it's just not the kind of defending you're going to be pleased to see if you're Finidi George. I think John Noble doesn't do himself, justice there. I think he should catch that ball easily. Wasn't under so much pressure. Ultimately dropped the ball and created the chance then for Insurance. There's another corner now.
Well dealt with in that instance. And that charge. The ever-present Pascalese. Emiluju. Frustration just ebbing from the Enyimba performance, but free kick to Bendel Insurance. Deputy Echeta.
Yeah, Insurance realizing Enyimba are up for an aerial battle all day long. They're just trying to string 1, 2, 3 passes together. Enyimba, when they get it, they just play it forward. Hopefully he finds Mekabioma on the ball now.
Yeah, just completely clustered and dispossessed. He looks isolated up front.
Certainly does. You'll need his team to be a bit more purposeful, take care of the ball a bit more. Won't he love to score another goal here today? Just to say he did 8 goals in 9 games.
I mean, that would be excellent, Yubi, if you consider the fact that all through last season, 7 goals was the statistics he ended the campaign with, and in 8 games he's got 7.
Yeah. Scored 2 last time out.
As a man who enjoys scoring braces, actually.
He's a tricky striker in many ways.
2 goals against Kwara United, 2 goals against El Kanemi. And as mentioned by you, a brace against Shooting Stars in Aba.
I'm not quite sure. I think he scored. Was that the fastest goal this season?
What
he scored last time against Shooting Stars?
One of the fastest, because the record at the moment stands with the Remo Stars player who got that goal against Enyimba in Ekene. That came in about 55 seconds.
Yeah. We've seen a few of that this season.
Oh, we have. Ebukaku Bundu. Echeta. It's in a dicey position. John Noble. We've seen more of Noble in this encounter than we've had the pleasure of describing the brilliance of Amas Obasuji.
I think he would love to keep it that way. I'm not sure he would love to be spoken about. The less you're spoken about as the goalkeeper, the better you're doing. But Noble has been clearly at the thick of the action. He's clearly one of the reasons, or the main reason Enyimba are not a goal down at the very least.
Straight pass, win-win for Enyimba. It's it across to Sadiq. It's an unsuccessful one-two between himself and Elijah Akani. Not many players get the privilege of scoring on their debut. I had that against Nasarawa United. And also that fantastic performance against Gumbi. They picked up maximum points. Match day 7. Surprisingly, actually, UB Gumbi United came to this well-capped-out stadium and picked up points. The only side to have done that this season.
Yeah.
So far.
Sometimes it's the ones you least expect.
Yakubu Bilal. He gets his moment under the sun. Amasu Basaje.
Yeah.
6 clean.
Remarkable stuff.
Well, it's something I think they've done brilliantly this game so far, keeping out Serki and Imadi Osarenko.
Yes.
But how long can they keep them off? That's the question.
Well, so far so good, they'll say. They keep doing what they're doing. I think they've been really physical. They've, you know, really rough handled those strikers, and they've let them know it's not going to be one of those days they're going to have it easy. But the thing about Imade is, you know, he stays in the game, always sniffing, always poaching, always waiting for something to drop for them. And you can just see.
Oh! He looks off, but the goal will stand. That's the man we've just spoken about. He gets his 6th goal of the campaign, Imadi Osarenko. Well, it's quite violent, but he shot down the elephant.
What a goal. I mean, I was just speaking about him. He never gives up, never stops running, never stops chasing. I mean, he's got to go out of nothing. He's just mastered the art so far this season of being in the right place and locking around in the right areas. But what a goal there. I mean, he literally appears, so to speak, in the box, and boy oh boy, how many times have we seen this? 6 goals this season so far. Remarkable stuff. And I mean, if there's anyone in this stadium who were going to place a bet on score a goal, it would be him. What a season he's having, Imade. I mean, you just look at the pictures there. The Enyimba players are thinking, I mean, we've done it so far. I mean, we've kept him quiet, and just at the very moment you think you've got it all sorted and you've made your, I mean, look at this. I mean, the ball comes in. What I noticed about them is that they overload the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in the box there. So it could have fallen to anybody, but it falls to Imade, who's onside. Checks his run very nicely, makes the left foot shot, and it's the timing of the run that makes, you know, the goal happen, because it did look offside from the start, and we held our breath here before we announced the goal. But quite a great goal, I've got to say.
So goal number 6, as confirmed by UB. By the fans, I'm sure you heard them. They cannot stop with the numbers. He's been able to perforate the defense of Aqua United Plateau. Kwara Remo shooting, and now Enyimba International. That's Bendel Insurance 1, Enyimba International 0.
Well, 20 minutes of action. I think we've seen some really physical stuff. But fair play to Bendel. They've been the better team. They've played a bit more purposefully, intentionally about the ball, taking care of it more. Enyimba have been more prone to, you know, kicking the ball out and letting, you know, Bendel Insurance build from the back. But Insurance went about their business very quietly, tried to string passes together, and if there was anybody they want the ball to fall to for the one chance, it was Imadi, and he did the right thing there.
Well, almost a chance for him. Ekene Awaziem. They require an instant reaction. Any Adam? Cut out by Ibuka Kabundu. Pascal Eze tries to find Sadiq. That's cleared out well by Julio Simoloju, just coming through to help out. And that's the site of the draw. The deadly draw. It's not an existing coinage, but I think I can just, you know, make that happen today. You see Seriki, you see Made. You know, there's a possibility of a goal.
Yeah. Both of them bring lots of work rate, lots of running into the channels. They're always on the move, so it's hard to pinpoint where they are. I think Pascal realizes that he's approached the game from a physical standpoint, but Imadi, of course, would be very pleased with how he's acquitted himself with the physical presence of the Enyimba backline. And I've been very impressed with the movement, Bendel Insurance, and the variety of their play. Many times they've decided to come short, get the ball, play out wide. They might have sometimes made the dummy run. But yes, I think full credit for them to them, Bendel Insurance, for their goal. They had 2 or 3 clear-cut chances before that goal, and I think third time is always a charm, and they got it. What a beautiful piece of skill there, Emmanuel.
Certainly looked like he was coming through from an offside position. But the interception was essential. Sadiq. Bilal Yaqub, what a stunning challenge from Sunday Ayawu. He seems the centre-back has combined excellently with Taminu Benjamin.
Yeah.
Was that a bicycle kick?
Bit of a late challenge there on the Insurance central defender. Benjamin, of course. Beg your pardon. But it's that kind of assurance in defense that allows you the breather you need. Here is the back pass, but a quick press there. They're not letting crosses in because, of course, you've got a very lethal striker in Emeka Obioma, who's in remarkable form at the moment.
No, he's been a pedestrian in this game.
Yeah.
That's audacious. I mean, if you're top of the table, if you have scored a goal against Enyimba, you can hit a strike from our commentary position.
Oh, definitely. Not quite sure you tried this far out, but but they're a team in real confidence. I think you can see in the way they play. And their fans almost arrogant, expecting another goal in the game. If you could hear them just to the left and to the right of us here. With every move, it's almost as if though they're expecting more from their team, and it's the kind of standards they set for themselves this season. So, I mean, if you watch them play, they trust their positions. They're not clustered. They're almost playing to instructions, and you can see the disappointment when they miss a pass. So it's almost a bit of an exuberance from the fans here about how they've approached their game all season.
They reckon each possession should lead to a goal-scoring moment. Oh, Elijah Akane is brilliant. Sadiq, and he's gone down in the box. Well,
It's a yellow card to Sadiq. And from where I sit, I thought it was a penalty. I thought he's been tripped there, but I mean, we'll have to see the replay to make a real verdict on that, because he looked like he was on the move. I'm not quite sure why he'll take a dive there when he was in full control of the ball and about to strike or put on the pass. Obviously, the replays will tell us better. The referee has to make a choice in real time. But from where I sit here, I thought that was a penalty. Let's watch that back now. It's not the replay I was looking for, but I mean, hopefully we get to that replay sometime sooner rather than later. But boy, that should be a contentious talking point in the Enyimba camp at the moment.
Dumbfounded, some of the fans certainly would be from Aba. It's bounced around. And the goalkeeper called into action, and he saved brilliantly just to keep out Ismail Sadiki.
The deadly duo pouncing again. It's still 1-0 to Insurance, but could easily have been 2-0 there. I mean, the transition from Bendel Insurance is electric sometimes. It's almost lightning. They move from their goalkeeper to attack, almost catching him by surprise many times, but they've got a corner now.
Pocket of yellow and green shirts in the box. Ebuka Akabundu to take.
Yeah. Not the best corner kick in the world, but I mean, almost at the half-hour mark here, and you fancy something still happening before this game goes to halftime.
And how they give away possession. Almost regained a goal scorer retracts to help out in midfield. That's how efficient he's always when he's not scoring. He's tracking back to support Imadio Sarenko.
Yeah, he's a very mobile player. Doesn't like to be isolated. Doesn't like to be too far from the ball. But here's Chukwuemeka Obioma. I mean, from his point of view, he thought that was a 50-50 body check. You can't blame me for being stronger than the defender there, but he's been feeding on scraps so far this season in this game, I beg your pardon, and that's the one real time he got in behind the Insurance defense, and he thought the Enyimba bench surely thought he was well within his rights to body check the defender.
Yeah, exactly. Just a teammate there said it was a 50-50 challenge.
Yeah.
Winwu, any Adam for Enyimba. That's a crossfield pass to find Sadiq. Has Bilal Yakubu. The intention is to lay free Mecca. Clearance is good from Tamina Benjamin. Previously with Jigawa Golden Stars, Bilal Yakubu captained the side in the Premier Football League some seasons back. And Masabasi game. Sure, of all the clean sheets he's kept, if he manages to get one today, he'll cherish it.
That's for sure. I think there are teams there are games that mean a lot more. 8-time champions coming to town. It's a real atmosphere. And they would want to get a win over Enyimba here and a clean sheet, do it in style because, well, I mean, that could easily have been 2-0, but I did speak about the transition, the way they switch play. Look at that. I mean, the win the header. Next thing you know, he's stronger than him. Puts in a pass on a platter, but the defender just does enough to put him away from making the right contact with the ball there. Not aggression, that was just enough, but Insurance creating clear-cut chances. And they'll be very pleased with that.
Samari Alalibo, Ini Adam, Filipozo. Yeah, I don't think it's a fixture where he wants to sit back and reassess his performance in the first 30 plus minutes. Enyimba midfielder. Eight-time champions. The last of that success train happened in 2019. It's been that long for Enyimba. They get a floater, just finding the presence of Chukwuemeka Obioma. And it's intercepted. Bilal. Safe hands of goalkeeper. Amasu Basoje.
Well, Chukwuemeka did a lot to generate any kind of power there. You have to, you have to have a neck of steel to generate real power to affect the goalkeeper there. But I mean, he's shown that if you get me the service, I could get on the end of things. I could make the channels. I could run the channels. I think Sadiq and himself have been one of the more intentional players. They've tried to, hold their positions and stretch the pitch. The other side has been feeding on scraps really, and I'm sure it's something Finidi George, coach, would want to address at halftime. Be a bit more confident with the ball. Be a bit more intentional with it. Take care of the ball a bit more. Make it your friend, if you like. Try to get a couple of passes together and draw Insurance out of their territory.
Elijah Kone just taking his foot off it. Has Winwu. Cut out by Emiloju on the left-hand side. Bilal. Winwo. Pascalese. To Samaria Lalibo. Has Enyimba. And this time it's the silent Ekene Awaziem. Such quality, but they've done distance. The presence of the Deputy Governor, who's a big fan of the football team. And I think that's not the right word to use, because during the Nigerian National League, it's surprising to say this, but he was a registered member of the team. Is going solo, Elijah.
I'm not quite sure why the referee takes so much time to make that call, but it's been that kind of game where been clearly stop start for the first 15 minutes. I think the game has flown a lot more in the last 20 minutes thereabout. But yeah, that was a tackle, and I think the moment he went down, I mean, you could give a free kick for any of those tackles there, but eventually the referee waited for the second one. And Enyimba do have a chance here to make the goalkeeper mask work.
The curse of the supporters club. Regardless of the outcome, they have to keep chanting.
Yeah.
They don't want to be left behind, I should say. It's an enticing position for Enyimba. There's Pascalese there, there's Philip Ozo. There's Elijah Akoni. And there's a goal kick for Insurance.
Yeah. Not quite what he was looking for. It's just a replay. I mean, he just strikes the ball. It's a bit wild, but I mean, he's one of the players who has worked hard today, so you know, you can't fault much from the striker's point of view. He's had to feed off scraps in many ways, but if they just manage to be a bit more composed with the ball, they just manage to pass it around a lot more, you know, trust their positions, trust your man, trust the system. It's been a bit all over the place from Enyimba's point of view. They haven't managed to string 5-6 passes together. What that means is that you're constantly always going to be chasing to win the ball back. And that's not great for the energy, especially in the weather we've got here. It's really dry, dusty. And what you want to do in weathers like this is conserve your energy. You want to be able to, you know, communicate with the ball a lot more, bring your man closer. But that could also be down to the great work that Insurance have done tactically. Of course, the coaches spent long hours watching the systems of the opposition teams and trying to nullify that. By the evidence of what we've seen, I think Insurance have, you know, been coming out tops in that. They've been winning that battle so far, Mano.
Oh yes, they have. They've been really excellent, to say the least. Wewo has Bilal Yakubu. Sadiq. Rest into possession for Enyimba. The scoreline hasn't been altered. Enyimba. Awaziem. Elijah Akoni. Wewo. Yakubu. Sadiq. I know it's a big man, but in the presence of two Insurance players, it comes off short. But they still regain possession. Pascalese. Philip Oza. That's Maria Lalibo. Enyimba. And that's how they should play, Enyimba.
Yeah. I mean, it's taking them 38 minutes. They're about to string a couple of passes together. And you can just see they've got the quality to do it, Enyimba. I mean, they really want to walk the ball from one end of the field to the other. And in those moments, you can see they could start to drag Insurance out of position. So I'm not quite sure why they're not doing it so often this evening. But it's the one time we've really seen them take care of the ball and treat it as a friend, not as an enemy.
Bilal Yakubu for Enyimba, just failing to keep hold of that possession. Going to be a handful of tweak in terms of tactics in the second 45, but for Enyimba and Insurance.
Yeah, I think for Insurance the message will be simple, more of the same, keep them as far away as possible from our goal, stop the crosses from coming in, which is what they've done all game. I think Imade and Seriki, I think they've run the channels really well. I think they've come short when they needed to. They've given the midfield some buffer. And they've given the Enyimba defense real trouble there. But Pascal once more, very challenging task.
Divine Wachuku, a maestro in his own right, one of the more exciting players to watch. That's not a bold call from the referee.
I think it's a good call. I think it's a good call. I think even if it's a foul, it's outside the area. But I think the Enyimba defender stuck with him, stuck to his task, and the diminutive player has got a real tricky fit there. But it's a bit of dangerous play from, I think, Ozo there, or Pascal it is. That's a bit of reckless. I mean, we'll still be outside the box, but I think he's a lucky guy there to, you know, get away with that kind of tackle. Because 1 yard, you know, out could easily be a penalty, and you know, almost at the stroke of halftime, would have totally gone from what has been a disappointing game from Enyimba's point of view to worse. So, yeah, I think still yes, yeah. But Sadiq has been at the receiving end of so many, you know, ferocious tackling so far this evening, and everybody very eager to grab a bottle of water.
And the referee with the audacity to just ask the Enyimba players or the physios for water.
Yeah.
Well, fair play, we continue to preach.
Yep.
Because I'm certain it would have quite a lot to say considering that penalty call, which somehow transformed to a yellow card to Abubakar.
Yeah. It's just a replay of the goal on the big screens, and you can see it's got the fans going once more. It's just that moment of brilliance, that moment of awareness. It was the first real time where Insurance managed to overload Enyimba's box. 5 players in the yellow shirt were in the Enyimba's box, and that could really pretty much have fallen to anybody. High risk, high reward.
Indeed. They haven't had a quite pleasing on the road Enyimba this season. Despite that away win and 2 ground, just somehow tend to struggle. Hey, people's elephants, as they call them. A ball back underway.
It's a bit of gamesmanship there. I mean,
it's taking forever, UB.
Yeah.
Abasoje.
Showed a bit of theatrics. Trying to get under the skin of the Enyimba fans and the Enyimba players. But you can see what he's trying to do, trying to get to halftime with the 1-0 intact. He's not had much to do in terms of saving shots. He's pretty much had to pick up things from the goal kick or, you know, a wayward pass. But
additional time is 2 minutes. Bendel Insurance FC lead Enyimba here by Longo.
Yes, 2 minutes of additional time. I'm sure you heard from the stadium announcer first. Quite proactive. That seemed like a hybrid from Inyedem on Sarki Ismail. Himiloju's interception is timely. Elijah Akoni. Abubakar. Abubakar Kubundu. Continues to chase Aklanga. Quite composed defending from Pascalese. Jakubu. The isolated Chukwemeka Obioma. Referee plays the advantage. Not certain what Elijah Akani had anticipated. Had about 15 more seconds left of the 2 added. Even if the goalkeeper had been blindfolded, not certain that ball from Philip Oza. And that's the whistle signal in the end of the first half. Out here at the Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin, where the home side, courtesy of the man on your screen, with his 6th goal of the campaign. Imadeo Sarenko just capitalizing on some defensive lapses from the People's Elephants. But there's plenty still left in this encounter, the high possibility.
Check 1 2. Hello 1 2. Check 1 2. 1 2. Check.
Ongoing across the 2 groups in the first half. Bayelsa United 1, Enugu Rangers 1. Local Stars 2, Goma United no goal. Niger Tornadoes 0, Dakada 0. Sunshine 0, Wiki Torres 0. Shooting Stars 1, Aqua United 2. And the game between Gombe United and Plateau United has been postponed. And in Benin, Bendel Insurance FC lead here by a young goal against Enyimba of Aba. Now to come in the second half. Let's keep the support coming for Bendel Insurance. Thank you.
Messi. Thanks for the gift. Yeah, appreciate it. Hello, sir. Oh, really? Nice. Look fit and well. Good to see you. Cheers. Once it's ready, I'm good. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. No, it's yes, coaching.
Okay.
Bendel are playing really well. Not bad. Yeah. Microphone, right? You can hear me. I know. So just put active coach. So, or you can put what's the last team, sir?
Yeah, I coached Quara United before.
Yeah, Quara United. So let's do ex Quara United, ex Sunshine. I think it's for the name, for the chess caption. Yeah, on TV. Yeah. So this is on NTA. This is on NTA, yes. And it's also on streaming platforms as well. So anybody who's got a smartphone can stream. This is a nice stadium, I have to say. Really nice stadium. All stands are covered. Takbo, you can hear me, right? Can you hear me, right? Welcome back to Match Day live coverage of the Match Day 9 game between Bendel Insurance and Enyimba. Bendel Insurance with the lead courtesy of Imade Osarenko. And of course, I'm joined pitch side here for all the reactions from Egwavon Monday, who of course happens to be a senior brother of the very, very popular Austin Egwavon. It's good to have you here, Coach. And of course, you've been in the league for quite some time as well. Ex-Sunshine Stars, ex-Quara United as well. What have you made of the first half here? Your team, of course, the team here, Bendel Insurance, playing, really well, scoring goals. And you have said, look, they can be a bit more better. That's the standards you have set for the team here.
Well, thank you for having me. Quite honestly, I wouldn't say I'm not impressed with the first half. It's been entertaining so far, but I think both teams can still do more. You understand? Because it's not just about kicking the ball and following. They should be a little bit more attractive for people to enjoy it more.
Well, of course, you think about the way Bendel Insurance play, and I did speak to the coach Monday. Before the game started, he did mention that as long as you keep doing the right things and keep, you'd always score goals for Imade. So that's something he's been able to keep a lead on this season. He gets him around the box and stays there. Always pops up at the right place at the right time, Imade, isn't it?
Yeah. He's been fantastic so far, and I hope he keeps it up until the end of the season. He's been a good player. Right.
When you think about the abridged league format, and of course, Insurance did play an abridged system in the NNL as well. So would you say that's an advantage to them this year, that they're a bit better at playing the kind of football they're playing?
And I actually do not think it's been an advantage to them. It's not the first time we're having a abridged league, even in the Premiership. Enyimba equally has had times with this thing before, but I don't think it's been an advantage to Bendel Insurance.
So just been really good.
It has been good. They've been good.
Great stuff there, Coach. Really good to talk to you. You look in great shape as well for the rest of the season. Cheers. Bless. Well, of course, that was Coach Monday Egwavon, senior brother to Austin Egwavon. Interesting backstory. He actually did introduce Egwavon to football, so great stuff there. And of course, we're going to link back to the game in the second half, and there's lots more to come here from the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. Cheers. Thank you. Yeah.
two teams are back to the pitch for the second half.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Match day 9 of the Nigeria Premier Football League. And after today's matches across the two groups, the league will go for a 3 weeks break. The league will return in March for the second stanza of the season. Bendel Insurance lead here by lone goal. They are unbeaten since the start of the league, and they remain the only team
Check.
that is here to taste the truth. The league played by lone goal against the People's Elephant from Aba. Let's keep the support coming for Bendel Insurance FC.
So the second 45 is on the way. Starts our contest between Bendel Insurance Football Club against Enyimba International FC. Still the same by virtue of current score. Insurance 1, Enyimba International 0. Personnel that fired out in the first half. The pitch to complete this exciting contest. I mean, it makes it pretty easy for identification that Chibike Nwiwu, with the way he rolls his shot.
Yeah.
That's him again.
Yeah. Headmaster, they'll say, back in the streets. But, yeah, they're all lots of 6-footers in the team, that's for sure.
Mate.
Nice improvisation there. Wanted to go with the flick, and if he makes the right contact, then of course the ball goes into the net because it's one of those that confuse the goalkeeper. But Insurance starting off the second half just the way they started the first, very quickly and very intentional.
The pass. It's been quite the revelation this campaign. At hindsight, certainly no call for a penalty.
Substitution for Bendel Insurance.
It's going to be a tactical change now. Vincent Augustus. That's the man who will be introduced for Bendel Insurance.
But it's always interesting because the coach could easily have made the sub, at half time. But
it's quite comical still that they're not certain who will be taken off. Well, I think the substitution will be cancelled. I felt odd because Imade was rushing towards the halfway line, which would be one of the weirdest tactical change.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just 1-0.
Yeah. Maybe a Kapara Balaga situation there.
Turn. And the control is even better. Exciting. Goes down in the box.
Not quite sure there's much there by way of a penalty shout. But Imba will take it, that's for sure. I think they could feel hard done by with a few first half calls by the referee. And they've just got to keep querying the referee just to make sure that he knows that they're not too happy with him. Sometimes you can trick the referee into giving you something.
They get something off this challenge. Abubakar tries to go past Sunday. Gets a corner, not bad.
Sadiq, if I'm not mistaken. He's been one of the more eventful players.
Yeah.
He's tried to create something out of nothing on that right-hand channel. He's got on the end of some rough tackles. But yeah, that's the replay there. I mean, he goes out, comes back inside. The touch just didn't quite, you know, set up nicely for him to make a cross one time. But they've got a corner now, Enyimba.
To the part of Ismail Serki.
It's always going to be tough on the half volley. That technique is not something lots of players can execute. I think we've got some movements down now.
Yeah.
Just a touch delayed. There still will be implemented a tactical switch.
The man has been introduced.
Into Bendel Insurance's President Augustus, number 32 shirt. And out for Bendel Insurance is 36 shirts, Deputy HTA.
So similar positioning. And the man we had the luxury of mentioning quite often in the first half, Deputy Echeta, has been taken off in what is a tactical substitution by Coach Monday Odige, who, by the way, was reappointed to lead the technical department just soon after the team was knocked out of the Federation Cup 2 years ago, sometime July 2021. Mild stoppage. So the player just get the attention required. He's been like a bison, Pascalese. See players walk off the pitch themselves, not with the aid of a stretcher.
Yeah. I think he needs to be re-invited properly by the referee. He's just been told to do it the right way.
A throw from in. Lalibo. That's a waste of possession from Enyimba.
Enyimba just trying to find the strikers with the long balls. I'm afraid the evidence of what we've seen has not been so productive in the first half. For the first 40 minutes thereabout, that's what they did. The moments they decided to pass the ball 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, I think we saw a bit of a better spell of play from them. The longer this goes on, you know, Insurance would be pleased with how things have been so far, and they would say, you know what, we can do that all day long, you know, cross the ball. We've got some very assured centre-backs who could deal with that. So, in many ways, the game plan is almost playing to the hands of Insurance's setup.
Kubo.
Well, I think he's got to anticipate that challenge. He's got to know that the defender will stand his ground and maybe, you know, kick the ball into space and try and run, or, you know, give it up. But defender well within his rights to stand his ground there.
Free kick for Enyimba International Football Club. Ball handled by Ismail. He's got a couple of goals this season. 4. The last coming against Shooting Stars at the Damasimba Stadium. There's a high scoring contest. 2-all. Divine Wachuku. It's a good contact from Julian. Just running through. Like was maker. Who just took the mount position of Julius and almost made it count from such an angle.
Yeah, it's just one of those early ones you take. But couldn't quite find the angle there. But ultimately, it's the kind of moves we've seen them do all evening. Quick transition. They attack like a flash in the pan. They just, you know, make 1, 2, 3 passes and all of a sudden they're in your box. But I've been impressed with how they've done their business so far this season. It's been very composed, and I think it's all starts from the back. They defend very well, very deep, very tight, and they rely on the awareness of who's once again shown up that he's the player, one of the players of the season so far this season.
Indeed, Elijah Akani, man who also is always efficient with MFM Football Club. One of the youngest to play in the top division. Made his debut sometime in 2017. He was 16 years that year. But MFM are almost history now. How sad. Well, it's surprising not to see him let the throw for the fullback, deciding to take it. Sadiq Abubakar. Intercepted by the towering Sunday Ayawa. Oh, there was almost an own goal.
Yeah. You cannot blink in this one. Chances end to end, and Enyimba almost going level. I mean, that's a dangerous one to play. I mean, the proximity to the goalkeeper is what, 2 yards? That's a risky way to pass the ball back to your goalkeeper.
Vinny Adams cross. Cut out by Sanibu Benjamin. Here's Yakubu Bilal. Closed down by Divine Wachuku. Oh, he's such an unplayable player. He tries to find the pace of Imadio Sarenko, but it's safe hands. Or comfortable legs, I should say, of goalkeeper John Noble.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the Enyimba player is doing there. He's got to pass the ball back all the way to the goalkeeper. It's almost like they're trying to force the game. They're not doing the easy things, and they're making... I mean, the easy choice is just, you know, roll the ball back to the goalkeeper, take a breather, recycle play, and have a go again. He's just played himself into trouble there.
Oh, Ekene Awaziem, quite fleet-footed. He's got a couple for himself this season. He'll be hoping to get goals, I should say.
Yeah. Bit of a nice footwork there. Enyimba getting more corners now, getting a bit more intensity to their attacks, and hopefully one of these corners, one of the set pieces could provide something.
Just that confirmation of the tactical switch. Philip Ozo's evening is done. The 22-year-old centre forward Adebambo has been introduced to join Enyimba in September 2022 from Kwara United after a loan spell at NNL club Otesolo. Made his debut the last time out against Shooting Stars. And, you'd expected the manager Finidi Joy to give him the confidence boost of starting, but decided to play him from the bench.
Yeah.
And now he's thrown in an extra leg up front. That's I think it just oozes desperation.
Yeah, you can say that, but I think it's the right kind of desperation. He knows that, you know, the longer the game goes on like this, Insurance would start thinking we've got 3 points almost in the hand, so let's just lock it up and make sure that we take it home. So in this moments of vulnerability, so to speak, you've got to go out there and attack and show that you can take, even if it's 1 point from the game. I did mention at the start of the game that both teams would take a 1-1 point or points apiece, but at the moment, Insurance have got all three. The game is still on, but I'm sure they would rather take all three, given how things have turned out here this evening.
Hey, Majay, it's gone past him. Well positioned, goalkeeper John Noble.
I mean, in fairness, it's an easy catch for him. Comes directly to his near post. That's what you expect your goalkeeper to do. I thought the Insurance attacker could have made an extra pass there. Saw the goal, his eyes didn't lit up, but that's it. I think he makes an extra pass there. I think he creates more troubles for the Enyimba defense, but the substitute rather, Adebambo has come on and almost made an instant impact. Maybe not in the right way.
Yeah, negative instant impact. He's picked up a yellow card for his trouble, and a victim is still down on the turf. Not the man who ran away, Benzema, Suarez, and the retired Croats, Mario Mandzukic. Players who've got sort of attributes he enjoys.
Yeah, it's high praise.
Yeah.
But, yeah, why not?
And they also pick up cards, so I think it's fair.
Yeah. Throw it around.
The offensive taking the side of Ogbemudi. That's an unfriendly arm swing there. Defender Pascalese. Highly experienced.
He's elders on the pitch, and this is somewhere this game was the game of the elders. He clearly is one of the more experienced players in the Enyimba ranks. So it's a poor kick. Luckily found an Enyimba player.
Yeah.
Something about his appearance today, I like it. It's just really beautiful.
Yeah. Akani Elijah. Adebambo. Any of them? Well, it was all about, yeah, just going to say the intention was good. It's the current score. Insurance 1, Enyimba International 0. It all could change. It's gone down on the box. And the referee waves play on. And this time, no caution to Osarenko.
Yeah, the referee is in the best place to see it, but look, that's why I'm not a referee. I could easily have given that for a penalty, but it all starts with this first ball. I think referee's right. I think the referee's right. Honestly, I think he sees it. Credit to him, he sees it in real time because he's not in control of the ball. He almost tries to sell it to the referee. The referee wasn't buying it. Not quite sure why he's not dished out a yellow card, but honestly, if I were the referee, I'd give a yellow card, but that's why I'm in the commentary box doing the easier job. It's just the kind of tension in the ground for the second goal. The fans are expecting it, the players doing everything possible to get it. Yeah, it's getting really,
Controversial.
fever pitch, controversial here.
But I'll stick with you, you're the Xbox. The fans are emotional.
Yeah.
So if you say it's not a penalty, I think I want to say that's the right decision from the referee.
Got to agree.
Vincent Augustus, the substitute, finds Divine Oachika. He's had to play against Exquisite. Doesn't have the power behind it, Divine.
Yeah. I think he's been maybe the best player on the pitch today. His awareness on the ball, his understanding of where people are, glides past people, slows the game down when he wants, makes an extra turn. Couldn't quite generate the right power there, but the idea was good. And Insurance, off the back of Enyimba, trying to find their own goal, beginning to find a bit more spaces in the Enyimba backline, the final third of there. So maybe there's still a goal in this game. For who? Not quite sure.
Well, he looks pretty surprised there by the call. Free kick in favor of Elijah Akani. Colourful football boots he's got.
Yeah. I think it's something that's gone out of the game a little bit. Colourful boots.
Yeah.
You see players now more with the white or the black. Back in the day, you could see some very interesting combinations. I think it was Ian Robin who sometimes wore different, pairs.
And his playing days also, Finidi George had some colours. These days he's a Mr. Finidi George.
Yeah.
Under immense pressure, I've got to mention, because your legendary status cannot save you if you're not performing as a coach.
Well, that's for sure.
We've seen great players who metamorphose into managers get fired after a few games.
Yeah. They'll tell you it's the name of the game. The results speak for itself.
A chance maybe for Enyimba. Abubakar. Thanks. Mountain steps back. Two players down on the turf, but the outcome is advantage Insurance, so no real threat. Goalkeeper Amas Obasaje, one of very few goalies who have kept every single game. It's been a season where most clubs have alternated that position. Enyimba likewise with two goalkeepers.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple who make 4 goalkeeping decisions this season, but for Insurance, it's got to be this man.
Amas has been ever present in goal.
Brilliant. Samariel Alibo just cutting out that threat.
I mean, it all starts with this quick play out wide, brings an in-swinger, so to speak. But, I mean, the goalkeeper should be punching that, not trying to catch that. And, you know, John Noble almost creates that chance out of nothing for the Insurance players. And even though I feel the game has been really end-to-end in the second half, it almost feels like Insurance have got the better chances to score.
The cross is good from Ibuka Kubundu. They're kept out. It's the pace now.
Sadiq, the one time he's ventured into this other end of the pitch, trying to catch the Insurance defense off guard. Didn't quite have the amount of pace to go past 2 players there.
Weewu. Referee says it was a fair challenge. Chukwuemeka. As timely anticipated by goalkeeper Amas Obasaje. Divine. Had too much spin in that.
Yeah.
They force the free kick. They get a bit of a smirk. But you can sense frustration on the face of the aim, but striker Chukwuemeka will be on that.
Yeah. Still got some love to give his gone ahead and almost told him get up on your feet, but it's not the kind of position he would like to find himself too often. You know, back defending in his final third. But that's why the team is there. You've got to come back sometimes and come short and play.
Julius Imiloju, propelled by the fans to hit. You call that a fair challenge or a fair attempt, I should say?
I mean, it'll take something to beat the goalkeeper from that distance. Not quite sure he thought about it well. I think he went with the fans' opinion. Enyimba advancing with about 5 players into the Insurance half or the Insurance final third, just sensing that the window of opportunity to score that equalizer might be closing. And Enyimba, I've got to say, are a good team away from home. They don't give up easily. They play till the very end. Went to picked up points there. So they're not one to give up a chase easily. And they'll be in the game till the very end. The important thing from their end is to make sure that the game is still 1-0 and give themselves a chance to throw a long ball, overload the box, Insurance box in the final 5 minutes thereabout. But I mean, we've crossed the hour mark here, and it almost looks as if though Insurance have had the better chances. The longer this goes on like this, the more encouraged Enyimba would be that maybe, just maybe, there's something in it for them.
Weewu. How was the aim? Adepambo, he's got to be cautious. He's on a yellow card. The Enyimba striker just going in heavy on Tanimu Benjamin.
I mean, if he just takes care of the ball a little bit more, then he makes a good pass into space for his striker. I'm not quite sure. Look. been that kind of game where I think the referee is giving him his final.
Just reminding him that he's on a yellow card in case he's forgotten, because it will be quite the tale if he gets sent off.
Almost as if to say, they play.
He didn't do that, you. If he wasn't on the yellow, I sense he could have been shown a yellow card for that.
Yeah.
Just the discretion of the referee.
Yeah.
To keep it pretty equal in terms of the numbers. Here's Imade. Sumari Alalibo.
Nice.
Imiloju.
Really nice piece of skill there.
Yeah. Always good to see him play. Exciting to watch. Likewise, the man on the ball is Serenko. Exquisite passing from Insurance. And a pass to the back post. And the referee had just picked up an infringement.
Yeah, really good piece of play by Insurance. Well, one of the best in the game so far. They managed to find the overlap there. And it's all about runners. It's all about runners creating opportunities, drawing people out of position. I think that's what Insurance have done. I think they've been more thoughtful in the distribution. They've been more eager to find the extra pass and not force the play. And of course, that's how we saw the first goal. That extra pass is always important because you can always find that extra man. And look at this. Look at the amount of space he's found himself in here.
Brilliant goalkeeping. And a surprising miss from the substitute, Vincent Ostos.
I mean, it's a terrible miss in many ways there, but the fans here in the stadium not quite happy with that, not so happy with that effort. But I mean, look, this is a really nice cutback. It's a nice cross there. Imade tries to go with the flick, couldn't quite make the right connection, but I think he's just taking his eye off the ball a little bit because the ball is there to be hit. It's the right height. It's spinning a little bit, you've got to admit, but I think if he goes for a bit more placement and power, then we're 2-0 up to Insurance, and we're pretty much saying bye-bye to Enyimba, but Enyimba continue to dangerously.
Insurance 1, Enyimba International 0.
Got to say the second half has been a bit more eventful than the first half. Lots of attempts from Insurance and Enyimba's point of view. You could just see the frustration on the Enyimba striker's face. Meka Obioma. Just pass it a little bit more. Just pass the ball around. Just find the extra man. I mean, they get it. They win the ball back and they just give it back to Insurance. That's surely not how to get an equalizer. And I've seen Enyimba play this season. I think they've played some better games this year. That's just hopeful. That's just hopeful. But if there's any player who has earned the right to do something like that, it's certainly Abubakar. He's run himself into the ground many times. He's been rough tackled for it. He's been given a fair share of physicality for his troubles. So maybe he'd say, look, I've tried everything in the game, so let me just go for this.
There's just this weird sense of confidence from the Insurance fans. With the whispers around the commentary booth of how they could have scored more than just one, UB. Did I hear 4? Yeah. I heard 4 too. The disrespect, if you consider the opposition.
Yeah. I think it's one that will make them really proud. The performance against, Enyimba are always going to be Enyimba regardless of form or whatnot. When they come to town, they come with their history, they come with their allure. And to give them that kind of performance, against a team like Enyimba is really special. I think they've had the better chances. I think on another day, they score easily 3 goals here today. I won't be as confident as the Insurance fans and say 4, but it's been that kind of game, and it's been that kind of season all season long for them.
And that's why they've kept as many clean sheets as they have this season.
Yeah.
And blessed with the presence of Divine. And the pace of the substitute, Vincent, has just run himself off the action point.
Yeah, I think it's just almost thought about the pass before and lost control of the ball. But the way he managed to get him behind there is an example of just how Insurance have gone about their game. They've kept players on the line of defense and always found someone. But Enyimba trying to create something out there. Couldn't quite do it that time. But it's better when they try to do it more purposefully as opposed to hitting it long. Just a replay of that. I mean, that's the man who has caused trouble all evening for Insurance in some way. The weight of the pass is too heavy because, I mean, if he makes the right weight of the pass there, he's in on the action and potentially be a 1-1. So it's their final ball that hasn't quite been up to par, but this time I think he's been Enyimba's best player.
It's the point where, you know, commentators just effect the cliche of him running socks off. That's what he's done all game. That's some goal clarity from Abasio J. Very impressive. Divine. Defines the word impressive.
Yeah.
Kenny Elijah. That's Abubakar. He's got Adebambo central. Yeah. Necessary for him to pick himself up.
I think he's run himself into the ground today. You know, obviously, all the balls in terms of attack has come through that channel. And look, you're not going to begrudge him if he is tired at any point in time. But yeah.
Is Elijah Akani, and going in is Ikena Akapa. Also going out is number 10 shirt, Sadiq Abubakar. And then is Eze.
Well, it's not surprising you've mentioned how much of attacks he's helped himself with. Just confirming the substitutions again. Iken Nakupa and Eze Ekutoziam coming to replace Sadiq, contender for player of the match.
Yeah.
If he was on the winning side, then
for sure.
Elijah Akani, who's had, I think, a decent performance today.
Yeah, decent from both players. I thought, you know, Elijah in the number 10 role, almost trying to link up play. It's been disadvantaged in many ways in the sense that the Enyimba defenders have rather gone long than, you know, play to feet and try to fashion something. The less said about Sadiq Abubakar's work rate better because he's absolutely given everything from the very first whistle in this game. So, right substitution from the coach, if you need the judge to give him some rest there. You don't want to pick up an injury just when the game is, or the season is pretty much at the halfway point.
In the end, having it with the assistant referee.
Yeah.
They know they're still within reach of an equaliser. Ebuka Akubundu to take the chair, the former go-round and Sunshine Stars player.
It's just an edginess and a jitteriness about Enyimba's defense. Every time the ball drops in there, they're not quite sure who's where, and you know, constantly looking over their shoulders as to where Imade is, because could easily have been a 2 or maybe 3 goals today to Insurance, that is.
Go for Bendel Insurance.
Yeah. Not quite sure if you catch the ball but far to your screens there. He's just having a good time. Almost, that's him.
Oh, there's almost goalkeeper spilling. Iken Nakupa. Slippery gloves.
Yeah. I think his starting position is not quite great because he is too drawn to the ball. Doesn't quite see it all the way and almost drops it. But, you know, that uneasiness about their defending and just the lack of calmness at the back for Enyimba, it's always been very rushed, very hasty, doesn't inspire much confidence, and I think that could translate to the goalkeeper as well.
On the pace, the attention, they try to build. Cooper with a soft turn. And the foul is against the Enyimba forward. Just to cut them off. Any real attempt for a goal. Well, the last time sides met at a competitive fixture was during the pre-season tournament at the Remo Stars Dominican. It was a goal fest. That fixture had about 7 goals. Enyimba International scoring 4 of those. Kotsi, Chike Mboma got a hat-trick, and Sundo Kireke, both players are not listed for this match day. Here's Cooper though in present time. Finds Enyimba. That's a decent cross. Even better defending. And the clearance from the magician himself, Divine Wachuku.
From Enyimba have come in and given them some sort of control and a foothold in the game. I think they've been a bit more composed on the ball, especially from Cooper and SD who come in. Enyimba's crosses have been a bit more thoughtful. He's taken the balls. He's rather been more thoughtful with his crosses. So good stuff there from the coach Vinny George. It's a goal he'll be hoping for the most.
81 minutes in, it's Bendel Insurance 1, Enyimba Int'l. Any of them doesn't think that was enough to keep him down. Just saying, come and get up and let's play football. And the referee also not buying it, UB.
Well, coming from someone who came into the game at halftime, so he wouldn't know anything about how much Miles Serki Ismail has put on the game today, but yeah, some urgency needed from Enyimba.
Akabundu. Serki Ismail's intended cross is deflected for a corner kick to Bendel Insurance. Raise the difficulty attached with that division. The many watching across the globe today will reckon that this is where they truly belong, the Nigerian Premier Football League. Reputation and quality-wise. I don't think they understand this is football and not Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it's just a bit of physicality there. I'm not quite sure why the referee has been really gracious with the cards. He's not been quick to dish out yellow cards because pace the second first half started with, it could easily have seen a red card here, but yeah. I think the players are giving everything knowing that they're going into a 3-week break, and maybe that's the reason for the tackles and giving everything today.
Going out to Isaki is man number 7. And going in is Austin Oguye. Also going out is number 17 shirt, Mika Ojodomo. Going in is number
players have done quite a lot in terms of helping out the midfield. And Michael Ojodomo. He's not going to get a goal today, Sergi. But if they go on to win but a goal, he will celebrate it. That's a man who such a talent. Not sure how much the fans chanting the number 24 name. He's coming in alongside Gungwe Daniel. That's the man who will be replacing Serki Ismail.
I think he's done a great job all the way from that left wing position. He's been a constant menace to the Enyimba right back. Pascal saw a bit of him in the first half, and a couple of moments ago we did say he's was beginning to feel his legs a little bit, so the coach, of course, doing the right thing, taking him off and giving Gunye, who's a real talent, some game time here to come in and join his comrades on the pitch, see this one out, hopefully.
To the final few minutes of this encounter. I just still have a feeling that there might be a goal left in this game. Could be a second for Insurance or that much hungered equaliser. Even as Moses Omodumeke has been asked to go warm up by Coach Finida George.
Yeah, some 10 minutes plus stoppage here to play at the Ogbemudia Stadium. And you feel like 10 minutes is a long time in football, so the team chasing something to get a goal back. Lots of water being passed around, and look, the cameras might not give that away, but it is quite the weather here in the stadium. The Hammer's is really, really relentless.
It's the heartbeat of the nation, so all of the good effects upon the fans inside the stadium. Chibuke Wiu, the Enyimba international midfielder. Plays his fit after carry on playing. Tenimu Benjamin. Oh, might just be a tweak in that change. Samuel Kalu might have been preferred to Moses Omodumeke. And also could be a double swap for Finida George. He's got two more tactical changes to make. Free kick, yeah.
The referee calling that one, and rightly so. Free kick to Bendel Insurance.
That's the man who's just Gunye. Sunshine. Super 4 in the club season friendlies. Got a couple of goals in the process. Notably, those goals in the NNL Super 4 came against United. That's quite a loud challenge. Ogumbe Daniel and Iken Nakuba, the substitutes clashing.
I mean, both players were not going to give it up. We're not going to pull out of the challenge, and yeah, ball on the receiving end of that.
Well, I'd wish that the players, anyone who goes down, is able to walk it off, but this time, we'd have the motorcade.
Always wanted to be on one of those, but not to an injury.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just to
I was wondering.
move around.
Okay, very often.
Yeah. See how fast it goes, pretty much.
I think he's got the pace of Imadi Osarenko, certainly. It's about 88 minutes played. Oh, he looks quite animated, Mondio Dige.
Yeah. He knows the job is very close to getting done, and he's just making sure that he translates that expectation to the players. No slip-ups from anybody. I think that would be his message. There's a real connection between the fans and
the players, yeah. Just before kickoff, when they walked into the stadium, they had this special number. And some of the fans who had made their way early enough chorused. No ball. Still a couple of assists from goalkeepers across the highest level for professional football. We will just lose his foot in.
It's a great pass.
Ogunye. It's a brilliant turn from him. Tries to find Imadil Sarenko. Audacious attempt. Forward control and the necessary clearance from the Enyimba back line. Chukwuemeka has been a pedestrian in this game. And they get Ikeda Cooper at full lane forward. He wants support to get it. It's a heavy first touch. It's a huge appeal for a penalty, but the referee doesn't call. And a free kick in favour for Oscar Gunye.
Yeah.
Lively since his introduction.
Yes, very lively. And you can see why the fans were screaming his name before he came on, but that's never going to be a handball. It's never going to be a penalty. Not in a million years, but this spell of play, just one of the best from both teams.
Yes, I called it. It's a double swap. Yeah, the stadium announcer is forgiven. It's easy to, as I touched it the first half, call him Uwaiwu, but the right pronunciation is Winwu. And Samuel Kalu on, the man who also enjoys playing some of the big games. So the 5 required substitutions made by Finidi, all his eggs now on the pitch.
Yeah. It's pretty much showed his hand. It's up to the players to produce the goods.
Versus Amadou Moeke. Just about 5 seconds on the pitch. And he's the most talked about player.
You can tell there's something between the fans and the players. It's always great to see that connection. Imadi.
Continually, you'll be aside from the goal he scored. He's got the same story as Chukwuemeka Obioma. Almost non-existent.
Yes.
But is that difference that he scored a goal?
Yeah. I think when he went to bed last night, he would say, if all I did tomorrow is score a goal,
yeah,
then of course, job done.
How many time you reckon?
4 minutes.
Well, 4 minutes of stoppages.
Or 4 minutes to bring in the cavalry.
They come forward. Ini Adam, it's a heavy pass. Samuel Kalu couldn't play, but they still have it. He's got so much energy. And it's a well-timed pass. Can the cross be perfect? A pass with the interception, the goalkeeper, Ini Adam. Not entirely a porous attempt from Mikenda Cooper, but it was just too high and wouldn't trouble the goalkeeper. The fans present will just celebrate his performance, the goal scorer. Placed by Ademi Ebenezer. Just right into stoppage time. Every second is essential. Oh, not the challenge you would have anticipated. Samuel Kalu. Here's Ebenezer Ademi. Vincent Augustus. Ademi with a cross in. And a brilliant defensive play. Always had the trust behind it the moment that cross was whipped into the 6. Probably one final throw of the dice. Maybe not. You could just sense by virtue of the fans cheering Herculean tax just might have been successfully achieved. Truly was the contest of the elders as tagged coming into this match day. Two-time league champions, but all of the success came through in 1979 and 1973. But that's the final whistle confirmed. Top of the table and still invincible after 9 matches. All their victories here at Ogbemudia Stadium this season will certainly have significance. It had to be just one man, Amadeo Sarenko, his strike in the 23rd minute differential. Another futile journey for Enyimba. What a perfect for the first part of this campaign. A high fixture ends in delight for Bendel Insurance goal line. Insurance 1, Enyimba International 0.
We want to thank every one of us here present for coming out to support Bendel Insurance for victory. And Enyimba Int'l of Aba scored the only goal for the man for Bendel Insurance. And you guys away with the sum of 30,000 naira here, courtesy of the number one journalist in Edo State, the chairman, Nigerian Union of Journalists, Edo State chapter, and that will be done shortly before we leave at this arena. Results from other venue is 1-1 between Bayelsa and Enyimba. Rebel Stars 2, Enyimba United no goal. Niger Tunnels 1, Bakadaniu. Sunshine Stars defeated Bukitos 1-0 in Akure. In Benin, Bendel Insurance 1-0. And from Ibadan, Shooting Stars 2, Akwa United 2. There will be a post-match interview right now for Coach Manuel of Bendel Insurance.
Well done. I think we need to move closer here.
But first, the best scorer for Bendel Insurance is Enyimba Int'l. He has 6 goals to his credit for Bendel Insurance. He's also going to get the sum of 30,000 here. That's enough. The chairman and the Edo State.
Welcome back to the Bendel Insurance full time here at the Ogbemudia Stadium. 1-0 in favor of Bendel Insurance, and boy oh boy, what a race to the 9th game of the season. Point we are at now, and I'm here with Imade Osarenko. Imade, you've been one of the most talked about players in the league this season, and of course you've scored 6 goals so far. What has that been down to? Because your coach did mention that you're focused, you do the right things, and of course you're getting the rewards for that.
Yeah, before the start of the season, we were the underdogs. So we had a very good preseason, coupled with our coach. He's very, very tactically disciplined, and he left no stone unturned. Yeah, when we started the preseason, I was a little bit rusty, so he had to try and bring out the best in me. And then, I'm not saying it's actually my effort is based on the combination of the players and everybody's effort. We are tactically disciplined, and we are united. Yeah. So by the grace of God, I getting the goals, my teammate getting the goals. We are very, very happy.
Fantastic stuff. They're good to talk to you. Appreciate it. All the best for the rest of the season. Cheers. Welcome back. Of course, I'm here with the goalkeeper, Omar. But it's good to talk to you. Look, you guys have been in imperial form this season, and you've kept, 17 sheets so far this season. What has that been down to?
Yeah, it's all about football, and today we were hoping we'll get a maximum point from here, but along the line it didn't happen. So we just have to go back home and go back to our drawing board and see where we didn't get it correctly and see how we can work on ourselves. Second round we are playing Insurance at home, so definitely we're going to give them what they deserve.
Of course, you've been one of the goalkeepers of the season, so great to see you, and all the best for the season.
Thank you so much.
Great stuff.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Cheers. Noble, who's been talking to us, and of course we could just have you for a little bit longer, but talk to me about the amount of saves you made, because it could easily have been more goals, but then you and your defenders managed to keep it very simple.
Yeah, I'm doing my work, so that's all I can say for now. Thank you so much.
All the best for the rest of the season. Cheers. Players, pitch side here, it's quite frantic, and there's lots of things happening. I'm just going to step into the camera back because we've got lots of pitch side activity here. But coach, commiserations for the result. Hopefully wanted to get a win, but couldn't quite do it here today. But it's still really been a good season. 20 points, possible 27 is not a bad stat to have.
Not bad. Actually, we had in mind to take something out of this game, but yeah. That first half goal, hurt us a little bit. We'll learn from it, sometimes when you concede in the first half, that will be the result of the match, So it's a lesson for us. But on the overall, I think we did well. It was a fantastic game of football. Both teams gave their all, and that's what we expected. We'll wait for the second stanza to see how we can make our own points at home.
Great stuff. Then take a rest and enjoy the rest of the break, yeah? All the best, coach. Well, of course, coach of Enyimba. I'm just going to step back into the frame now, hopefully getting to talk to coach. I'm just going to try and walk back. There's a lot of activity here on the pitch side. You can imagine halfway point of the season, lots of activity across the pitch side, and everyone wants to speak to the players who have been all season. So there are lots of dignitaries here, one of which is the governor of the Edo State, and Philip Shaibu hopefully come to speak to us at some point in time. But there are lots to speak about, lots to analyze, lots to unpack from an Enyimba point of view. They won't be too, agree with themselves. They've got 20 points from 27 games, and that has been the stats that have seen them second on the table going into that midway point. Let's speak to the Deputy Governor of Edo State. Good to see you, sir. How are you doing? Been in imperial form, and I've got to say that they have been the talk of town. What has that been down to from an administrative point of view?
Insurance is still ongoing business. We are not there yet. It's a team that we have been for 5 years. A sustainable team that can win, a team that can give when match is going on. You can see their play. They are confident. All the players are confident. The fans are sure that at least they can win matches.
Yeah. One of the things that I've noticed is you were always here for some games, even when the team were in the second tier. That is something that is, inherent in you. You're a big football fan, more so a fan of Bendel Insurance. When you watch the team play and you think about, the coach and just how he's been able to translate his message to the players, do you see them replicating what they've done in the first half and the second half?
Insurance is a disciplined team, and it builds discipline. And when a team is disciplined, players are disciplined. They play like a team. Football is a team game. It's not one individual. And I'm happy that we have a coach that's a team. Apart from this season, and I play with them, I see what he does. And that is why when people were like, we want to be in NPFL and sack coach, I said, you can't sack the coach because I am in the training, I see what he do. And fortunately for us now, the same people that are saying, sack the coach. I said, the guy is good.
Great stuff there. Deputy Governor, it's so good to talk to you, and all the best for the break, and enjoy your time here. Great stuff then. Cheers. Well, of course, it's been quite a spectacle here at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. We've totally enjoyed our coverage here with the games, and of course, we're just going to speak to one more dignitary. He's actually the coach, the man of the moment, Coach Monday Odigi, who's always very calm and composed. I'm just going to have you this way, Coach, if you may. Coach, congratulations on the win. You've gone 9 games unbeaten for the first half of the season. That is remarkable.
Thank you very much.
Well, you're always with the one answer. But Coach, you got to say that when you look back, you've been very impressed with what you've seen all season. Goals, the clean sheets, the discipline. I've just spoken to the Deputy Governor. He said, your coaching is, discipline is composed. It's very calm, and that's what we see your team do.
Well, I thank you for all the good remarks. But the game of soccer, it goes. If there's no consistency, you can hardly achieve an objective. So in terms of discipline, it is the bedrock of any successful plan. So we try to stay disciplined and also try to work hard and let the players understand that there's a mentality you must have. You're just coming into the big league. You have big names like you just played Enyimba. You have Shooting Stars. You have Aqua United. You have Plateau United. You can't just go in there and not be at your best. So we just try to, like I said, we keep taking it one game after that. We thank God the league is gone midway. So we'll have time for people to recover from injuries. We can replenish, and we'll see how it goes from there.
One thing's for sure, though, you'll be having a nice break, 3-week break. Hopefully you could get some players back from injury. And all the best for the big. Enjoy it. And hopefully we'll see you soon on this ground for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Coach. Well, we've just spoken to both coaches from Enyimba and Bendel Insurance, who have gone unbeaten for 9 games. 24 points from a possible 23 points from a possible 27 is what they've amassed out here. And it's been a great coverage here from all of us here at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. We say thank you for joining our coverage. We'll see you after 3 weeks. Bye-bye.